Tom's have been holding us over a barrel.
I'm going to tie everybody back in. We're going to go a little bit long because we have a lot to talk about with that impeachment trial. Tom McKay here with 3D Politics every Monday at 7 p.m. right here on Facebook Live. We've got all three Davids, David Van, David Oldham, David D'Ambroso right here with me on 3D Politics. And I want to move to the story of the U.S. Representative Kendra Horn. She wrote a point of view piece, Why I'm Taking a Teacher to the State of the Union. I call it Take a Teacher to Work Day for Kendra Horn. But I want to tie in what we were talking about, because we are broke. By definition, we don't have any money. By definition, we're creating money, but we are in debt.
We have more debt than any other nation.
Okay, so now what that means is we don't have money that isn't owed to someone else.
Right.
Which means there's a lien on our money.
Yeah.
Now, if you are going to, quote unquote, do what they say, invest, then you can't invest with somebody else's money unless they're going to tell you what's going to be on the menu.
Well, we also have far more wealth than any other nation.
And yet,
still,
wealth is only...
our wealth is actually many times more than the debt.
Wealth? Currency created?
Privately owned assets.
GDP is a currency. There's nothing static about that. But Representative Kendra Horn is, she said, speaking as the granddaughter of a librarian, which you know how that gets you.
When's the last time she's represented an American?
You're just saying that you know how it is. You know how you are, ladies, if you're the granddaughter of a librarian. I mean, you love the smell of books.
You know
if
how
you hated your grandmother, then you probably hate the smell of books. But, I mean, you know how it is when you're the granddaughter of a librarian. She knows how all this stuff in the public school. And then she wants to teach these children, young children, in this the tools they'll need in this increasingly global economy. Now, here's one of the problems I have. It is a global economy. They will need to learn economics, and you should start teaching them global economics, I don't know, in high school probably. But the whole idea of pre-K all the way through probably 6th grade, they're not going to be needing to learn these global skills of market economics. How about teach the 4th graders to read at the 4th grade level? How about just teach them basic civics so that the House of Representatives won't run roughshod over the Constitution?
Well, how will we fit in Drag Queen Story Hour for teaching the kids this?
How will we fit in Drag Queen Story?
How,
That's a
Tom?
good question. Well, we'll have to change quickly in our costume.
We'll have the drag queens
Could they teach economics?
teach world economics.
I told you
Economic
to fix
literacy.
this. You get the NHRA to bring in their drag queens.
Yep.
So she says, educate, this again from the point of view piece from Kendra Horn, U.S. Representative. But remember that this impeachment trial was brought by the House of Representatives. And let's understand how important all House races matter. Okay, it doesn't matter if you are in their district or not. It matters who's in the House. Have you seen some of these people that speak from the House? Poor Miss Demings, she can't say documents. It's documents. Then what happened was, and the documents.
What does she know about LGBTQ?
But they laugh at us on CNN. Supposedly we're stupid, and I'm telling you, you can't get a map without words on it.
Right.
Anyway, she wants to invest. Education is one of the best investments we can make in our future. Now, we don't have any money to invest because we're in debt.
Yep.
And when she says we want to invest the money that's coming in,
That means
that's
raise
not our
taxes.
money. No. Even if it does, what I'm saying is the person who pays for the pizza orders the pizza. The person who pays for the education decides what's in the education. And Kendra Horn wants to invest China money, essentially, because that's what we owe most of our money. She wants to take the money that is really China's, it's got a Chinese lean on it, and use their money, technically, to buy an education for our kids, which means
China's paying for it.
which means they'll say what's in the
Well, they're
kids'
paying
deal.
for a large portion of it, but the vast majority of the money owed is to the Fed.
Yeah.
It's
Foreign owned. Yeah, that's kind of one of the misnomers.
Yeah, they're buying
their own.
So this is a full court press by Kendra Horn for the teachers union. She's going to take Jenna Nelson. Lucky Jenna Nelson is the guest for the President's State of the Union. Jenna is the winner of the 2020 Teacher of the Year.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, there was no school tax money spent to give
What
a
is
great
Jenna's
party.
last name?
Jenna Nelson. She's the
Nelson.
Teacher of the Year. And I'm sure she's a great teacher. She's the
What
guest.
a cynical and ineffectual ploy by
Yeah,
Kendra Horn.
It's such a pathetic
pandering.
and trite pandering. But
Yeah.
Jenna is an 8th grade composition and enhancement teacher at Deer Creek Middle School. What does an enhancement teacher do?
Well, I don't know if you're familiar with LGBTQ ideology, but
No,
Okay.
I'm not. I'm just asking. I mean, I know what. I'm assuming that 8th grade composition means English type
English composition.
stuff, but an enhancement teacher, I literally. Does anybody out there know what an enhancement teacher is? 'Cause
Please let us know.
I'll be
Yes.
trying to find out. But she says
I don't work on that, Blake. I
here's
need your
the
help.
problem. Kendra Horn is promoting this. Not only does Kendra Horn love the teacher's walkout, where the teachers just abandon the parents and the children. Okay, but Jenna, the teacher, says often that public education saved my life. Now, here is where a good person, Jenna, and we're promoting her loving feeling that she gets into making public schools focused on the wrong thing. Go to the emergency room if you need your life saved. I know what she means. I'm not denying what she means. But we're taking what she means and turning the public schools into the warehouse to fix everybody's life.
Right.
And that is literally not what we're doing. While Jenna, get this line. They get it both ways. Kendra Horn says, while Jenna is exceptional, she's also no exception. Oh, really? She's up and down?
what does that even mean?
That means nothing. That's like a dry desert, a wet ocean,
Well,
climate change. We got to
yeah.
stop man-made global rotation.
But public education saved this woman's life. We
How can
need
you
to
argue
have-
with that?
We
Actually,
need to have,
she saved
Tom, we're going to have altar calls at the metal detectors entry of every public school.
Now,
That's right.
look at how Oldham's always talking about how government force is used to harm people. And here it is. Teachers in Oklahoma, Kendra Horn talking about teachers, are forced, that's her word, to take a second job.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's not. No, they're not.
No, they're not.
What you mean is she feels the need to get a second revenue stream. Do you know what I'm hearing from the corporate execs that are hiring and firing all the millennials? They're not looking to stay with your stupid corporation
No.
for 20 years. They're looking for a second revenue stream. That's
Right.
what we do today.
Right.
So this idea that some poor Oklahoma teacher who's so lucky she's riding to the president's party and she's forced to take a second job.
Right.
That's just not true. She's not forced.
You know what? They got 4 months of the year off when you count it all up. Yeah.
That's
why not
even,
get
you
it?
know,
Most
even
of them
though-
have a second revenue stream.
Sure.
In the summertime,
Either
they
way.
Yeah,
they
So
do stuff.
there are Oklahoma teachers, she says, who can't afford to pay back their student debt.
Well, she wants
How about that?
She's upset that a 4-month vacation doesn't allow her to live in the lifestyle to which she's been accustomed. So she takes a summer job.
Now,
It's more like
she-
it's more like 3.5 months.
So
to be
who
fair.
controls? Here she is.
Can not
She's,
exaggerate.
she is a member of the Congress. She's literally in one of the ruling class. Who controls the debt for a student loan? The government. The government controls the debt. You can't.
No.
Oh yeah, you don't buy.
Well,
when was the last time?
it is
How
now.
many student
It is
loans
now.
do you have in your name now, David? None.
And never have.
And
David
I
hasn't been to
over-
school.
reason.
I've got.
David's a
three-
Republican.
I got 3 student loans going right now.
Yeah.
That my name is on. Okay, and the problem is you used to be able to bargain with a bank to borrow money between a bank, and then the bank would pay the institution of higher learning. Now the government took it all over as of Obama, and now when you go in, they tie all your taxes and they tell you what you're going to get a loan for, and whatever we borrowed on our loan for OU didn't cover. OU raised their prices on tuition 25%.
Right.
When you
Well, it's
get a
gonna
loan
continue.
for a semester of paid
Okay.
for, it ought to cover the semester,
Well,
even if the prices go up.
until the
Once
public-
you've been authorized.
Stops caring about smiles and puppies, which is probably no time soon. We're going to have this because
Right.
a government and government representatives, bureaucrats, politicians will always snooker the public and say, "Well, look at all these great benefits," and pretend as if there's no cost.
Yeah.
There's always a cost to your individual rights and liberty. They're always going to trample those for these programs, and then 2, they're going to trample your wallet. And this has happened all around the world. But government gets to create this problem, and and these bureaucrats get to sell you the solution for the problem they've created. So then they exist in this oligarchy forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
Because they'll never fix the problems that they've created. Student loans and student loan debt and the cost of an education have increased many times the rate of inflation every year since one seminal point in history. When was that? When was that?
1965.
When government started guaranteeing loans.
Yep.
If I've got a car repair shop and the federal government said it's a human right to get your car repaired, guess what I am charging? Guess what my rates are going to do if the government's guaranteeing that the check is written?
Yeah.
Yep. If you borrowed money to get an Oklahoma teaching license and you can't afford to pay your loan back, A, you either are not running your economics properly, or B, you invested in a worthless piece of paper that's not worth
Are
what
you
paid for it.
suggesting that government employees don't understand economics fully?
Highly possible.
That's very disrespectful.
Well,
He's also explaining that they don't deserve to be teachers because they can't manage their own affairs.
Well,
You guys
and
won't
high
teach
school,
anybody.
graduates are graduating high school without the good sense to figure out the financials on this.
I love trade school. Guys are going to become electricians 6 months, 9 months, making $120,000, $140,000 with zero debt. And then you have people going to private schools, get an
right.
education degree, $120,000 in debt. So
And
you
then
tell
you're
me.
beholden to the state your whole life, and they
Yeah.
freeze your salary, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys a couple more points on this because she really lit me up. What do you think about this Head Start program? Oh, Kendra Horn met with second grade Girl Scout troop and talked with student loan debt with the students and teachers at UCO.
7-year-olds?
It's,
But,
it's,
no,
it's-
UCO,
Tom,
not
it's free
They're paying for
daycare.
it.
They're
She
calling
toured
it education.
Oklahoma
It's
Head
daycare.
Start. What is that?
It's daycare. It's a government-run
the
daycare.
state. They've now taken it all the way up that there's a state agency.
Be
that-
careful. My mom was an administrator.
Well,
for
it's
Head
a
Start.
federal program, actually.
Well, I know that they've got a federal as well, but it's not local anymore. It's
So-
federal and
Yeah.
state.
So Kendra Horn is desperate for the children to take be taken by the state.
You want to,
Yes.
they want to
Yes.
institutionalize every kid as quick as they can.
Now, here's
Remember,
the-
that's the communist
They,
agenda.
they
That's-
literally
that's
call it.
the Communist
That's
Manifesto.
that's the 1930s German plan.
Oh, go back to the 2020 plan that's literally in textbooks. It's called socialization
Yeah.
of kids in public school. It's
Yeah.
literally the phrase they use to
Yeah.
talk about what happens when children are in school presently. And this is an argument I had professors argue that this is why we must mandate public schools.
What else you got,
Socialization.
Tom?
Yes.
Well, here's the real sinker of the boat for Kendra Horn. In 2018, she stood in solidarity with 50,000 teachers to walk out on everyone and
Yes,
leave
she did.
us hanging. That was
Yeah.
absolutely horrible. She co-sponsored, do you know anything about the Teachers Are Leaders Act? And also the Reaching English Learners Act. Now, the Teachers Are Leaders Act, she's proud of this.
ESL.
Remember, these teachers are all for the children. So everything we do is for the children, except the Teachers Are Leaders Act is a bill that would create a professional development program for teachers. So, aren't they already professionally developed? What are you doing? Why are we hiring
It's just-
teachers
yeah.
that are not already professionally developed? And why are we spending more money on developing
Listen.
the teachers instead of teaching the children?
Tom, calm down. It's okay.
Oh,
Kendra Horn and
calm
her
down. Just what I needed to
Calm
hear.
down, Tom. You're being hysterical.
I
care
am.
about
I
the
am.
kids.
I
It's
am hysterical.
Tom, this is all election year pandering. This whole
Just-
thing.
Oh,
Just
she's
because-
she's desperate to get the teachers.
She's
back
gonna
on her
lose.
side.
Let me
Oh,
tell you,
this is
I
desperation.
will say this, Tom. Kendra Horn is being advised by some very astute political figures.
And they're still going to lose, but they're
Yes.
trying to mitigate that loss. And
I'm-
don't worry about the fact that Kendra Horn and her party has created these problems. They've got the solution, Tom.
And what is it?
Just give them another chance. More money.
More money.
They just need more of your money and more of your freedom.
I'm
They'll
going
fix
to
it.
calm down as soon as I get this out of my system. The Reaching English Learners is going to teach. They're going to provide additional funding to train teachers to teach English as a second language because
That's
we
our
wanna
problem.
Encourage
Oh.
that, right? Now, record funding for Head Start and early education IDEA grants for children with disabilities was an investment with bipartisan government funding. It included $450 million boost to the Title I schools, and then another bill increased funding for a thing called Impact Aid. Where schools lose revenue. Tell me if you know about this one. Oldham, schools lose revenue due to a tax-exempt federal property like military installations or as a result of federal action to establish tribal land.
They don't lose money. They have never had a right to that.
So,
No, he sounds like me.
exactly.
Yeah.
So this is another poorly written. I think this
I
is.
love it.
I actually think I know what she means, and I'll get off the story about Kendra Horn. But she wrote this sentence here, and I'm pretty sure I know what she means. But I still have to ask because it's poorly written by the English composition writing
That was the
skills
irony.
of Kendra Horn. Oklahoma school districts receive approximately $36 million in impact aid funding each year, more than any other state. The funding bill Congress enacted in December increased our total investment in impact aid by $38 million. Okay. Does she mean they increased it to $38 million, or they literally more than doubled it?
Tom, it doesn't matter.
Oh, that's right. Because they're
It's just numbers on a
saving
computer.
Yeah,
lives.
yeah. By the way,
Oh, they are
If they
saving
can
lives.
save just one life, all the money in the universe, all the freedoms.
To that
for
last
one
point, I
life.
want to
Yes,
say
sir.
about what she said about losing tax money to these non-taxable entities.
Yes.
And I'm quoting Rush Limbaugh. By the way, I'm going to go over that joke. God bless you, Rush.
Amen.
We're sorry to hear he's announced today advanced
cancer.
stage lung cancer. And
I believe it's
prayers are
not
with him and his
malignant. He's doing
family.
treatment.
I don't know.
I think
He's
that's what I read.
69.
So, but anyway, something Rush said back in the 90s. Mario Cuomo was the governor of New York, the old man, Cuomo.
Had a beautiful
And
voice.
they had this brilliant idea. They were going to take over Con Edison, because these utility rates are getting so sky high and
Right.
everything. Well, once they took them over, all of a sudden, we lost all that tax revenue we were getting from Con Edison. They're no longer paying
Whoops.
taxes because they're now a government entity.
I love it when leftists say,
that's
well,
right.
churches
So-
are costing us all this money
Yeah.
in tax exemption. The
Yeah.
money's not yours. It's like saying it's